Hello, welcome everyone. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully this is not too early for a Saturday. First off, I just wanted to welcome everyone. Thanks for coming down. On behalf of Bloomberg, we're incredibly excited and happy to have you guys here. I know that we've done a few events with MLH in the States, and they've been great, so we're really, really happy to have you guys, and I hope the weekend is fantastic. A few housekeeping details. There will be a fire alarm test in approximately 6 minutes, 5 minutes. It's going to be very loud, so just ignore it. Do not evacuate. That's the key information. I'll be very fast. There is, for the Wi-Fi, please don't log your device in and out. There's one login per device. So if it does kind of log in, if it does log out, you will have to use a new information, and the guys here should have them. There's an open bar tonight at 8, from 8 to 10, so you must get an alcohol wristband for that. This is more of an issue in the States where the vast majority of people are not able to drink, so hopefully not so much of an issue for us here. Collection is just going to be by the stairs. If you guys need any Bloomberg help, the Bloomberg guys are wearing the orange badges that look like this. Yeah, that's Bloomberg help. And obviously, the MLH guys have their T-shirts on. If there is a real emergency, there's lots of security people here. You're directed to the exit, and the exits are at the back, but you'll be directed. And toilets are over there. Great. So we're really excited, and let's kick off. So who's next?
Hello everyone, thank you. So I'm going to quickly talk about the event while we wait for the fire alarm, because I don't really want to put a sponsor on here to then get fire alarmed. So I'm just going to talk about the event in general, what to expect, the schedule, and I think some of it's already been covered by Christine, but just in case you have any questions. So I think quite a few of you here will be first-time hackers. Who's been to a hackathon before? Awesome, that's actually more than I expected. So the rest of these guys haven't been to a hackathon before. It's so amazing that you guys are here today. This is the first for MLH in the UK, and we're so excited that's the first for so many of you as well. Can we have a show of hands for the people under 18? Awesome. This is fantastic. We actually have an official school trip here. I do not know how Mark pulled that off. The paperwork must have been insane, but that is amazing. So just some things to be mindful of. There are under 18s here, just established. Please watch your language and be generally polite. We had this talk with the volunteers this morning. I know you guys all love your swearing and your filthy jokes, but just be mindful of who's around you. Try and make it a friendly atmosphere. You've all signed the Code of Conduct as well, I hope. Who's read the Code of Conduct? Woo! Okay, so for anyone who hasn't, naughty, you should have done. The ticket said you'd read it. But basically, the Code of Conduct made by, well, the website's made by Cristiano here at the front. Everyone clap for Cristiano putting that up. So the Code of Conduct essentially says that this is a safe space. We don't want any harassment here, and we will not tolerate any harassment or abuse of anyone under any circumstances. Another really important thing to note is don't make jokes or light of the Code of Conduct. If you hear someone making a filthy joke and people going, Code of Conduct, tell them to cut that out. If people make jokes about the Code of Conduct, people can't use it to defend themselves. So please keep a lookout for stuff like this. Sorry to put a serious tone in the event, but we need to make this a safe space given the recent problems in hackathons across the world. So cool. So the talks will hopefully go on until about 12. We may be sooner than expected because we've had some sponsors who haven't quite arrived yet, and we've got some, we've started earlier than expected, so we might be able to get you hacking out even sooner. So the talks will be at 12. Immediately after the talks, we're going to have a team matching session. So we'll do that in here as well. So if you don't have a team or you're looking for a team, hang around and we'll sort you out. If you're looking for a particular skill, keep that skill in mind, and we'll try and find someone. We can use Twitter, we can use the texting system, we'll get you a team member you need. So after the team matching session, 1 o'clock, there'll be lunch. Hopefully you're not all starving to death and you would have had breakfast, but there will be lunch soon enough. And then after that, it's kind of just free hacking. Does anyone need to do soldering? Anyone hardware hacking? Excellent. Oh, Cristiano's soldering, that's dangerous. So soldering, we've got 2 time slots. There will be one between 2 and 4, and one between 9 and 11. You cannot solder outside these times, and you have to use our equipment. The soldering table is at the front. If you need to solder and you don't know where it is, come find me. We will have to supervise you doing it. So if you are unexpectedly soldering and you need components, you're probably going to miss the time slot today, but there is another one tomorrow morning for any last-minute jobs. And then after that...
Solder outside those times, the sprinklers will
Oh yeah, if you solder outside those times, you will soak everyone. The sprinklers will go off. So please don't solder. If you smuggled a soldering iron in, just don't do it. Just don't use it. Wait to use our ones. We have all the safety equipment and stuff. So please do it under the right circumstances. We don't want to have to clear the venue. As the fire alarm that will be going off soon will show you, this will be what will happen if you solder outside those times. So yeah, after that, there's a couple of cool things going on this evening, which you might not have experienced other hacks you've been to before. So the first one is Meet the Mentors. Can mentors raise their hands if you're in the room? Excellent, cool. So we've got some here now, and there will be some later. So we have mentors from a variety of awesome places. Some of them are contractors. We've got Rob from Rolls-Royce. We've got someone from Mozilla, someone from Shazam. And they're here just to talk to you, give you advice on the industry, maybe even give you a hand of code if they're feeling up to it. And they'll be wandering around. They're all looking nervous at the code bit. They'll be wandering around, but we'll also have a formal Meet the Mentor session. So we'll be able to take 40 of you on, and basically you'll chat to the mentors, and it's kind of a speed dating format. You'll chat to them for 2 minutes, and we'll move you on to the next one. So if you want to learn more about the industry, especially all you guys are probably in a position now where you're starting to think about internships, you're starting to think about going into careers, these are the guys to talk to. And then we also have our fantastic sponsors who, do you guys want to raise your hands? Awesome, cool. So everyone give a clap for our sponsors. It would not be possible without them. Especially for Bloomberg, who have put all of this together. So they've given us the space, they've given us all the food, the cleaning, cooking, they've done everything. So Bloomberg, get a massive round of applause, please, everyone. Oh, this can't be it. Oh, hang on. It's a very British fire alarm. I'm going to get off the stage while this is happening. It said further instructions will follow. Yeah, they're going to tell us there's cake at the end. This is really amusing for an opening talk.
Your attention, please. An emergency situation has been reported. Personnel are required to take no action.
Joe is on stage, that's the emergency.
Do not use the building links. Further instructions.
Okay, I'm actually going to leave now until this is done. Never mind, apparently that was the end. Are the AV guys lying to me? Did you do that on purpose? Are we actually done? Excellent, cool. Okay, so I think that's the end. Okay, so yeah, there'll be the Meet the Mentor session, and then tonight we've got another amazing thing done by Bloomberg. So if you're kind of getting stuck in your hacking, you've reached a dead end, you've got blocked, you want to take a bit of a break and do something different, we've got our Bloomberg mini event, which is called CodeCon. So that will be a algorithmic programming competition in one of the other rooms. There'll be limited attendance. It's quite a small room, so we'll probably be able to get 40, about that in there. And basically it'll be a small competition on a different type of problem, and at the end, the one who comes first wins a prize. We'll probably be doing it in pairs. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, look out for that. We'll be announcing that on Twitter and for the texting system. And then after that, dinner will be served, and well, before that, dinner will be served. And then this evening, we've got you well accounted for. There will be pizza and Red Bull and stuff all coming tonight around midnight. So we've got a ludicrous amount of meals on. There's lunch, dinner, midnight snack, midnight Red Bull, breakfast, lunch, and snacks for out. So if anyone's hungry, I don't know what you guys eat at home. It's ridiculous. So no one should have any problems with that. But if you do get hungry and you want to order food, there is a cash point at the top of the stairs, and you can order food. And you're also welcome to come in and out. Just make sure that security are aware of your movements. So yeah, other than that, that's kind of the schedule for today. So we're going to start inviting the sponsors up to begin their talks soon. Just to briefly run you through the sponsors that have helped us out today. We've got PayPal and Braintree, which is Cristiano here at the front. We've also got SendGrid, who I don't think are here. SendGrid, if you're here, give us a wave. Oh, he's arrived. Hi, SendGrid. So this is Robin. We've got Bloomberg, obviously. Mendeley, Mendeley's down here with Joyce. And I think you guys have some other people around as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, Victor's at the back. We've got Salesforce. Where's John? There's John. Everyone knows John, he's a regular. Twilio, where's Paul? There's Paul. Estimote, Estimote can't join us today. So Estimote are currently based in Poland, and they did want to come over, but they're also coming over next week for BattleHack. So it would have been a bit of a hectic playing schedule. But you can borrowed the Estimote hardware. So basically what Estimotes do is they make beacons which allow you to geolocate people indoors and allow you to do various other things on apps. If you want to talk about Estimotes, there'll be an info session tonight at 7, or you can come talk to us on the hardware desk if you're interested in doing hardware hacking with Estimotes. And then we've also got NFC rings, which I haven't given out yet. Basically, this here is an NFC ring. We'll be giving these out throughout the day. Everyone here should get one. They're free, they're awesome. We'll explain a bit more about what these do when we give them out. We also have Capital One. Where are the Capital One guys? Over there. These guys are awesome. They'll probably be hacking. They did last event they sponsored. They just sit there and hack all weekend. It's pretty cool. And then Namecheap. A Namecheap around. There they are. Cool. Namecheap down the front. Cool. So that's roughly the order in which talks will happen. They're only going to get 5 minutes each. So we'll be rushing them onto the stage on and off quite quickly. If there are any questions and stuff, please save them for after. They'll be in the rooms mingling with you guys. So first, I'd like to invite Tim up to talk a bit about MLH. Cool. Thank you, everyone.
So what is hacking? Okay, is it like in the Matrix? Okay, is it stealing credit card data? No, hacking is all about doing creative things with technology, and it's all about learning. Okay, that's what we believe at MLH, and hackathons are a fantastic place to do this. You get together for 24 hours, and you create amazing things, and the most important thing is you learn from each other. So this event is going to all be about learning from each other. At MLH, we believe that everybody should come to these kinds of events because they're absolutely vital for meeting new people, learning absolutely vital skills, and just having a really great time. So MLH, or Major League Hacking, started off in the US about a year ago. And what we do is we help hackathons, student hackathons from universities all around the country to help organize, help get them sponsorship, help schedule them, and help them with travel and other general things, because we have a team of hackathon experts who are able to give advice and that kind of thing. The main thing, though, that we like to do is give out that trophy over there at the end of the year. So who wants to win that trophy? Hands up? Yeah. So in order to win that trophy, your university is going to have to send the most number of people to hackathons this autumn. So we're going to be taking down what university or school you're from, and every person who comes from that university is going to get a point for their university, okay? And if a university hosts a hackathon, every person they get coming to that hackathon, they get a point for that as well. So universities get points for people they send to hackathons, and they get points for people who come to their hackathons that they host. And at the end of the year, we're going to be etching a university's name onto that trophy. So as I said, we believe that everybody should come to these kinds of events. So we're expanding into the UK this year. We've got over 10 hackathons lined up. So we've got hackathons in Glasgow, Plymouth, Southampton, Nottingham, Birmingham, Oxford, and some other places too. Strathclyde is in Glasgow. I mentioned Glasgow previously. So we've got places all around the country, and we really want everybody to come to these events. So in order for that to happen, we want a couple of things to happen. First of all, everybody has to be really nice to each other and really, really helpful, because as I said, these events are about learning. So be helpful. If somebody doesn't know something, ask them, hey, would you like a hand? Kind of help them out. And also talk about it a lot to your university. Get your friends involved. Say, hey, you should come to these hackathons. If they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not good enough, it's no, tell them or reassure them it's going to be awesome. You should definitely come along. What we will do is we have a grant for people for travel. So if travel is a high cost from where you're traveling to, then you can sign up on a form online, and we'll reimburse your travel. Travel reimbursements will be, we'll make an announcement about that today if you need to get reimbursements for today. And finally, just to mention another thing, is the hardware lab. We've got an awful lot of really cool hardware that we're going to be shipping around the country to all of these hackathons. We've got Oculus Rifts, if you're interested in trying out some virtual reality. We've got thalamic myos, which are these armbands that kind of detect the electric signals in your arm. And you can do motions like this to move like slides across, or you can turn up volume by doing this sort of thing. So they're really, really awesome. And we've got a ton of those for people to try out. We've got some Pebble smartwatches and some Spark cores and some Leap motions as well. So we've got a whole bunch of really cool stuff planned for this season. We're really, really excited for it. As I said, we believe everybody should have the chance to come to these events. So go out there and get all your friends to come to them because they're awesome. Great. Happy hacking.
Awesome. So as Tim covered, the Hardware Lab is out there. That will be where you'll be able to pick up your NFC rings. And if you want to play with Estimote, that will also be out there. Cool. So I'd like to welcome our first sponsor up onto the stage. Cristiano, are you ready? Awesome. So just to cover Cristiano, it's from Braintree, and he's got a very funny new demo. So I'm sure it's all be fun. Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, totally not overselling it. Hi, I'm Cristiano. I'm with Braintree. For most of you, Braintree is probably a town in Essex, but we're a payments company, part of PayPal. And can I have the screen up? Or there we go. Cool. So we're at BraintreePayments.com, and I'm going to quickly show you how to integrate Braintree into your product this weekend. I have an obsession with llamas. Long story. And I started a new shop called the Muck Shop. So I've got llamas. I also have Vikings. Anybody here coming to BattleHack next week? Ooh, quite a few of you. Awesome. So at BattleHack, we have lots of Vikings everywhere. So you can see we have a couple of weird people here. So I've got lots of mugs that you can buy. Except for at the moment, if you click on it, all it really does is... it works already. That's not the idea. Quickly do this the right way. Cool. Let's try this again. There we go. At the moment, oh, come on. This is fail. First time I'm doing this demo, you can notice. Here we go. Cool. So at the moment, it's only taking your first name and your last name, and that's not very good. That isn't really going to help us very much. So if you go to BraintreePayments.com and you click on the docs link here at the top, then you end up on the developer website. And the developer website is incredibly simple. You just, at the top here, you just select what languages you're using at the front end. So like, are you using iOS, Android, or are you using JavaScript? And then at the back end, we've got Ruby, PHP, all these different languages. Any Rubyists here? Well, okay, for you, this is going to make sense because I'm going to do this in Ruby. What's the rest? Node people here? What's the rest of you doing? PHP? C#? Okay, and the rest of you, who knows how to program? Okay, cool. Awesome. So I've got my payments controller here, which is a pretty straightforward payments controller. And that new form, that's kind of where we were before. What I'm going to do here is, if you go to the source code, you see that all you need to do really is just take this bit of JavaScript here and place it into your view. So we're going to open the new.html, and we're going to quickly put this bit of JavaScript at the top here. So now we've added JavaScript. And as you can see, this is just a basic form. I've got a first name, the last name, and a submit button. Now, the way this form works is we're just going to specify where we want to put our credit card form in. So here's the little drop-in, and we're going to just place that here after the first name and last name. And then if you scroll down further here, you'll see that if I take this little bit of JavaScript and say I just wrap that in a script tag and I paste that in here. Who here is familiar with JavaScript? Yeah, right? Most of you. Cool. And now if we reload the page, you'll see it's already rendering that form I was really trying to get rid of before. And it does a whole lot of awesome things. Like it gives you like a credit card number field, so it automatically detects this is a Visa. It takes the expiration. And the really awesome thing is in the same, like this is how many lines of code have I written so far? 5. It takes a full PayPal integration too. So I can type in my email address. So wait, I have a cooler email address. Oh yeah? My super secret password. I log in, I agree, and boom, my password is now tied, my PayPal account is now tied to this form. Now, if I hit submit, this is not going to do anything because I haven't implemented that yet. So let's go back to my payments controller. As you can see, I've done a few things. Let's first update the customer, right? So I have a customer. This is a bit of magic code that I've written somewhere else, but all the source will be available online. So let's update the first name and last name so we kind of save this. So we take the first name, and we save the last name. Cool. So we've now updated the customer. Let's now create a sale. So we need to take a couple of things. We need to pass the amount along. So I've put that kind of in a price parameter. And we need to specify the customer ID so we know who to make the sale for. So I just grab the customer and pass the ID. Then when you submit, all it's submitting is not submitting the PayPal details, it's not submitting somebody's credit card details, all it's submitting is that token. It's just a token that it generates on the client side. So you don't have to handle any credit card details, you don't have to handle any PayPal payments. You just take the token, so it's a payment method nonce. So that's about the same thing. There we go. And I'm going to pass one extra thing in. So normally when you create a payment, like for a credit card, when you first create the sale, it doesn't actually settle it directly. So I'm going to say settlement, submit for settlement, true. Cool, and then I'm just going to redirect to the transaction so I can show you which transactions we've made. Now I'm going to do something with a little magic still up here. So I'm going to create a customer, a client token. And what this is going to do is it's going to help us remember who this client is, and I'm going to show you that eventually how that's going to be really cool. So I'm going to pass in the customer ID again. Basically what this means is, if we go in here, this big token that I have here, let's take that out. And instead we're going to paste in the client token that I've just generated. So that's a custom token that basically ties that form to that customer that you've created. Now, if I've done all of this right, and I haven't, client to generate, sorry. Generate, there we go. Now what you'll see is we get this form. I'm going to fill in my name, Cristiano, but I'm going to fill in a credit card this time. So we have these test credit card numbers, which are really hard to remember. And if you just give it a fake number, and when you create the payment, this should now create the payment, depending on the Wi-Fi. Boom, and that is the transaction. And this actually uses the Braintree API to then look up these transactions. You can see I've now been charged $9.99 for a mug. As you can see, I'm now logged in, so it's kind of remembered which customer I am, which is really cool. So if I go back to the Vikings page, and I say I want a moose hat, when I come back here, it's already got my Visa and everything attached to it, which is really awesome. So you don't have to your client doesn't have to fill this in again. Anyway, I've got prices for this weekend. If you want to play with this, come and find me. The prices are some really awesome Star Wars Lego. Joe, where are you? Do we have one box per person or one box per team? One box per person with like the gigantic Star Wars Lego. We have got like destroyers and a couple of other of them. So come and find me if you want to play with it. As you can see, it's really easy to integrate. I'd love to see what you do with it, and have a really, really good weekend. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much, Cristiano. So just to follow up on that point, we've covered it in the info sessions this week for those of you who made it, but if you haven't been to a hackathon before, you might not be aware of how the prizes and sponsorships work. So a lot of these sponsors are also offering a prize for best use of their products. So for Braintree, it's best use of payments with using Braintree. For Twilio, it's best use of SMS or phone using Twilio. Good here. Oh, that's scary. So in general, if you want to know what the prize for your sponsors might be, try and find them in the room and they'll tell you more, they'll give you more info about it and what the actual prize is. But it's not all about winning. Remember, it's all about learning, sharing, and doing something awesome. So I would like to invite up to the stage next. Robin, are you ready? Awesome. So Robin is from SendGrid. So SendGrid very graciously sponsor us, and they sponsor a lot of events throughout the MLH season, same as Twilio, same as Bloomberg, and same as Capital One. So give these guys a huge round of applause. They're massive support to MLH.
The one. Happy Saturday, everyone. I mirror that. Jesus, that's horrible. That'll do, won't it? That'll do. That's not. No, that will not do. What is up with this? Joe, what resolutions is supposed to... Oh, that'll do. That's better. That's better. All right. There we go. So, hi everyone. I'm Robin from SendGrid. For those who don't know, SendGrid is a transactional and marketing email API. So when you need to integrate email into your application to either send email or receive email and do cool things with email, basically SendGrid is who you should be using for that. When you get an email from Uber, Pinterest, that kind of thing, that's us. We send all their email, so that's kind of cool. So I just want to show one of the, well, my particular favorite feature of our API, which is called the inbound pass. Now, if anyone's seen this demo before, I know Cristiano has. He's been featured on it. This is my Steve Buscemi demo, Steve Busselfie, as it's called. So what I want everyone to do is get their phone out, all right? And I want you to do what everybody loves doing, and take a selfie. So front-facing camera, you all know how to do it. There you go. So take a selfie. If you've got an iPhone, it works particularly well. If you've got Android, it kind of flips itself sideways for some reason. So anyway, so take your selfie and then email it directly to selfie@rbin.codes. You don't need a subject. You don't need to put anything in the body. Just the picture itself, and send it to selfie@rbin.codes. Send it anywhere. And then hopefully we'll see a few of them. So what's happening in the background here? Basically, I've set up a little Rails app on this Steve Buscemi demo. Basically, it just uses default Rails middleware. When it receives a post request, we can see an object come in there. When it receives a post request, all it's going to do is it's going to take the email that comes through as a blob like that. It's going to strip out the attachment if it's a JPEG, which it is because that's our selfie. It's going to store that as an object. And then once it's done that, we can choose a victim, and they're going to get Steve Buscemi'd and Steve Buscem-chinned when we receive it. We'll wait for a couple to come in. I know you can only have Wi-Fi on one device, so if you're trying to send an email over 3G, it might take a while because the signal's a bit rubbish. Let's see. I hope we have more than... We've only got one, so let's keep them coming. I know the Wi-Fi's a bit slow. All right, well, instead of waiting for the rest of them, I'm sorry, we'll just go with this one because I know I haven't got infinite amount of time. So this lucky man right here is about to get Steve Buscemi'd. Let's Buscemi him. Oh, yes. Doesn't he look fetching? So Granted, this app, it's a bit of a laugh, but it just shows one of the cool features of SendGrid, as in your app can receive emails, you can strip content out of that email and do something with it. A better example is something like, if anybody does expenses, the worst things in the world, I know I hate them too. If you take a photo of a receipt and upload it to an expense app, that's the kind of thing that the inbound pass is useful for. Obviously, sending email within 30 seconds is super simple. It's like 6 lines of code, so I'll be around all weekend for anyone who needs any help with Go programming or Ruby or anything like that. And for the best use of SendGrid's API, we're giving away wireless Bluetooth speakers to every member of the winning team. So if you come up with a really funny hack that isn't Steve Buscemi's, because I've already done that one, you come up with a cool hack that uses SendGrid in some kind of nice, innovative way, you get to win some awesome Bluetooth speakers. So yeah, so we're SendGrid. I'm Robin. I'll be about all weekend at RBIN. If you want to sign up to SendGrid, go to hack.sendgrid.com. Sign up. It's free of charge. And then drop me a line on Twitter or come and find me. I'll be wearing a cape as well, so I won't be hard to spot. And I'll provision your account straight away for you. So yeah, happy hacking, guys. Hope to see something good.
Awesome, thank you, Robin. That's got the selfies started. So to kind of follow on from the selfies, there will be a midnight selfie competition for the stupidest selfie. So keep an eye out for that. Can I have Bloomberg up, please? So obviously Bloomberg again have put all this on for us, and it's absolutely fantastic. So thank you again, Bloomberg.
Good morning, everybody. Is this my mouse? Is this my mouse? It's my mouse. Cool. Cool, that's good. Yeah, so welcome to the MLH launch hack and welcome to Bloomberg. For those of you of a note-taking disposition, this is just a GitHub page, so you've all got access to this presentation. It's got some links and stuff in. So Bloomberg has a lot of sources of data. We have thousands of exchanges pouring data into our system. But not just that, we've got newsrooms all over the world, and weather stations, and every client can contribute pricing data. So we've got a lot of data coming in, and we distribute that out through the Bloomberg terminals. We've got a couple dotted around. If you want a demo, come and talk to somebody who's got a Bloomberg badge on. Oh, I'm really sorry. Has anybody heard anything I've said so far? Yeah, it was fine. Yeah. Okay. But the SDK that we're offering this weekend gives you programmatic access to all of the data that we collect. There are two ways of getting at this data. We've got an enormous historical database that you can query for lots of things, and you'll see some examples in a couple of slides. But we also provide real-time access to data that's changing. You can just make a subscription, and you'll receive real-time updates. This SDK is used mainly by financial institutions who want to write applications to consume pricing information. But the uses are quite a lot broader than that. We provide, interfaces in all the languages you see, C, C++, Java.NET, Perl, Python, and for the Node guys here, also JavaScript. These are the platforms we support. For each of the languages, we provide a suite of example applications that provide a pretty easy point of entry. And this link here is where you can go to download the SDK and also access the API reference, and we've got a developer's guide up there as well. So this is how you do it.
you set up a connection into the Bloomberg infrastructure. This is the right IP address, but we've got it written bigger on another slide. You set up your subscription for what you're interested in, and then you receive a bunch of events. So here we're looking at I want to buy shares of IBM, so I want to know what price I'm going to have to pay. But we have lots of things. We have lots of equity data. We have lots of currency data. We have lots of prices of things, basically. The third one's pretty good. This is so $95 per pound of live pork. But it is you do have to commit to buying 40,000 pounds of live pork. Yeah, we have live feeds from weather stations, and we have historical data for weather stations across the world. The last one's one of my favorites. We track pirate activity in oceans all across the world. So there are a whole bunch of these ticker strings that give you the information for various oceans. If you're interested about what kind of data you can get, or what other kind of data you can get out of the API, again, just talk to somebody with a Bloomberg badge on, and we can help you find the subject strings and the fields that you want to subscribe to. I must ask you not to distribute or archive any of the data that you consume this weekend. Otherwise, we'll get into trouble with the exchanges who provide us with all this lovely stuff. We are going to be making a server available for consumption of all of this stuff. And I've got the IP address on a bit later. Quick plug, Bloomberg is hiring. If you've still got a year left on your degree, come and do a summer internship. I did it a couple of years ago, and I liked it so much I came back. And importantly, well, use of our API is its own reward. But the most creative use of the API will also win a bunch of 3D printing pens, which are the ones that exude like plastic that hardens on air. I hadn't seen them until this. They're pretty cool. Yep, here are some links. So top one is a location of the SDK and reference documentation. Second one is this presentation. The London hacks at Bloomberg.net we'll be checking that throughout the weekend. So if there's something you want to ask us and you don't want to talk to us, then you can send us an email instead. And again, this is the server to which you'll connect if you choose to use our API. All right, happy hacking, everybody.
Thank you very much, Bloomberg. Cool. So one thing I want to quickly mention, which I forgot to mention previously, was the main prize. We seem to completely forgot to mention the prize for the first prize here. So obviously all these sponsors are doing their prizes, and it's amazing and it's great, and they kind of give you guidance and a theme that you can work on. But for just doing an awesome hack for something that we think is really cool, we're giving away 4 of the Thalmic Myos that I mentioned earlier. And also, if you look at the trophy at the back, there is 4 medals around them. So there's medals of a similar theme. The winning team will also get each one of those medals. So at each MLH event, you'll pick up those medals, and then the winning university, the one who sent the most hackers at the end of the season, takes home the trophy. So cool. Next up, can we have Mendeley, please? Everyone give Joyce a huge hand.
Give it out.
Hello. I'm unplugged. Brilliant. What's going on? Amongst yourselves. Right. Okay. Please work. Okay. Where's my mouse? Right. Hello. I need a microphone. Okay. Hey. My name is Joyce Stack. I'm a budding developer outreach in Mendeley. Everyone goes, Menda, who, what do you do, what's it all about? But I think if some of you people in the room end up doing your PhDs, you're going to need a core reference management tool to organize your papers, your annotations, export all your stuff into bibliographies and all that kind of gubbins. So this is what we are. And what we do is we started as a core reference management tool, but now we're a massive platform, and we want to change the way research is done. So how do we want to do that? Big explosion. What we do is we provide, this is about impact. What we do is we help researchers understand the impact that their paper has in the world. So if you write a paper for all the computer science people in here, for example, the MapReduce paper, we can tell you what disciplines are reading it, what country is reading it, and how many people are reading that paper. So can you imagine if you want to, what we want to do is to help accelerate research, and we want to get computers and humans working together across multiple disciplines. Some big numbers, we're basically a platform of storing scientific journal data. Usually this is things like journals like The Lancet and stuff like that. We have 1/3 of the world's academic research papers. We have a massive catalog, we've got loads of users. We've got these social research groups because researchers like to work in groups and they're kind of private about it, but sometimes they're happy to share that. So if you wanted to do something sociable, you could use our groups API. We've also got a load of scientific statistics about predicting papers, so you'll see this coming back in your feed, Jason. So quick picture, these are our core objects. You've got these documents and you've got a file associated with it. You've got groups. And what happens is all these users put them into a library. Then our API comes in and does the magic. And what it does is it spits out this massive catalog of all of this information. So it's all crowdsourced. And so it's there, and we do a lot of magic with it. We also have some clients. We've got a desktop client. There's also an iOS version. Why would you use our API? Well, people have done this. They've built Kindle apps because researchers want to be able to read their research papers when they go on holidays. Don't know why. I can do a demo of this. There is a link on our GitHub account. It shows you where papers are being read around the world. So I can show you that. We also did on a hack day, we did a Twilio thing where you can get your library read back to you. If you press 1, it will list all the documents in your library. It's a bit of a fun thing. So you could actually use Twilio. We have. It's a bit of crack. We've got a developer portal at dev.mendeley.com. You will have to use OAuth 2, which can be a bit difficult. So please come and see me and Victor. Hopefully the documentation is clear enough. We've also got a library populator that will help you populate your library with some test documentation. So just to get you started. There is a Swagger interactive console, so you can use that to I don't know, see what you get back and see what goes on. So this is our dev portal. You can see that there. It's a bit of work in progress, so I appreciate any feedback. The challenge we have is the best use of the API. Essentially, what we are trying to do is we want to open up science to everyone, and we want to build a shared platform. So that's what we want to do, so you can help out. Our prizes are 100 quid at iTunes, there's the Raspberry Pi. You can have a Jawbone or some Sennheiser headphones. You cannot have both, I'm afraid. There's Bluetooth speakers, and then there's a bunch of goodie stuff in the bag. So we're here to help. Shruti's here in the morning from our community team. Victor is here. There's going to be other people around later. I've got a lab coat, so I will be dressed like a skeleton later on, walking around. So come and find me. And you can send me an email to api@mendeley.com if you need any help. And that's me. So come and say hello. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joyce. Cool. So, who likes the volunteers t-shirts? Everyone? Cool. Anyone want one of these? Awesome. So, we don't have black ones, unfortunately. What we do have is these amazing Launch Hack red ones. Saif has folded these far too well. That man's he's working Lacoste. He's insane. We have these. So these will be going out tomorrow. You'll get these on the way in for the closing presentations, but we'll also be giving some out throughout the day for just doing cool stuff. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be doing some through Twitter. We'll be doing some just throughout the day. We'll come around and talk to you, and if you've made some amount of progress, I might give you some. But for now, who wants one? Woo! You said? Over here? No, Christiana can't have one. All right, awesome, cool. There's one, some at the back still, cool. Awesome. Right, so next up, we have John from Salesforce. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Hello. Are we all loving the Bloomberg offices as much as I am? I wonder if they've got any jobs for older people. Not that I'm saying I'm old, but I'm probably not quite as young as you guys. Okay, so what does Salesforce do? Oh, that didn't work. So I'm John. I work for Salesforce, which also includes Heroku as well. I'm going to tell you quickly about those two cloud services, if my computer works. I also do Clojure as well, so I might try and convert you into Clojure while you're here. Forgive me if I do. I kind of love it. But I can do Haskell a little bit, but I prefer Clojure. I got Haskell on Heroku a couple of weeks ago. That was fun. Okay, so what is? Has anybody heard of Salesforce before? Oh, a few. Okay, well, I'll go then. I'll leave you to it. No, so here we go. So it's the cloud, basically. You can build applications in the cloud really, really easily, really, really quickly. We built all our products on top of our platform that we have. All the big CRM stuff as well. I'm not going to go into that because I find that a bit boring. But you can basically go onto the website, create an account for free, and you can create apps really, really easily. In fact, you actually get an application to start with. So you're already part of the game there. All you need to do is configure that application to do something interesting. And you can configure that by actually just using your mouse or your touchpad, or you can actually write code as well. We have a language called Apex, which just allows you to do, it's very Java-like language, just allows you to write business code, and you can also customize the UI as well. So what would you actually use Salesforce to do in this hack if you were going to use it? An example is you could build university apps. It's like something that you would use as a student, something that the university staff would use themselves. You very easily kind of build something that's very data-driven, that helps the university organize themselves, like registration, timetable and stuff. All the things that might be a little bit less, quite tedious to kind of program, you can actually very quickly build them and extend them with some more of your own ideas and your own imagination about what you can do. Or you can do something for society apps as well. So if you want to run or manage your society, or you want to manage the finances and so on, very quickly you can kind of build an app to do that. And anything you would actually use in a university or any kind of within a business, within an organization is where it really excels. So what can you do? You can build, you can build an object model like this. Again, you can just drag and drop this. You can fill in forms to create these kind of things, define relationships between objects. You can have workflows and approvals and so on. All these things are built in. We also have something called Chatter, which is a bit like Facebook, but without all the werewolves and dragons and things. And you can also code if you want to. So you can actually write code in the cloud, so you don't need to download any tools if you don't want to. You can also write your code all online, all in the web browser. If you do want to write stuff online, you can use things like Maven's Mate or Eclipse to write code as well. And you can also get really funky with the user interface as well. So example of what we've built in our companies, we've used our own application, and it's very mobile aware. So we actually built this application to manage our big conference that's coming up next weekend. It's one of the reasons I didn't do a demo, because I've run out of time. And you can have the mobile app. You can, again, you don't need to write this yourself. We give you a mobile app already to use that will connect to Salesforce. And again, so saving you the amount of work you need to do, and you could just focus on the really interesting parts of your application and get it built. And you do also, so there's all sorts of things like reports and stuff like that. So you make all that information come to life by pretty graphs and so on. And again, a lot of it is just dragging and dropping. You can do some code if you find some things that you want to extend it with. And everything you build within Salesforce already has an API. So if you want to connect Salesforce to something else, everything that you create within it has an API already. So if you've got an object in there, you can just basically call that from another application that you have. And I've done that, blah, blah, blah. If you're doing something in Ruby, Java, NodeScript, JavaScript, Node, there we go. Or Python even, or pretty much, or even Haskell. Who's going to do Haskell hack? Lawrence. There we go. Excellent. So you can deploy that on Heroku as well. So you don't need to set up your own server. You don't need to set up your own environment. Just use what you would do normally locally. Just push it to Heroku with Git, and you have your application live and running within a minute or two. And you can then very easily demo it at the hackathon to people who might want to give you a prize. And yeah, I can talk about Heroku later on. I don't want to overrun my 5 minutes of time. And the mobile stuff, you can build your own mobile client if you want to, if you want a beautiful pixel perfect client, but that takes a lot of time, and you probably spend the whole hackathon doing it. Whereas we give you a free mobile app you can just download from Android or iOS store, and you can immediately just connect that to your Salesforce environment and show people what you've done. And if you want to do some fun stuff, we've also connected ForceGraph up to there. So if you want to play with Minecraft and Salesforce, you can do that as well. Anything you can do around this thing is quite cool, so I'll be looking for extra prizes around there. And if you do use Salesforce and we're giving you a prize for the most beneficial app for education, so anything related to education would be cool. And we've got these 4 Spark Fun Inventor Kits. So basically, if you want to play with Arduino, there's a whole bunch of gubbins around there to build things around Arduino as well. And you don't have to do any soldering, so you won't upset Joe. And if you want to get an environment, you just go to bit.ly/mlh14, and you get a free environment, and you can have a little experiment play it where if you all sign up, and even if you don't use it, then that will help us sponsor more events. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you very much, John. I'm not going to shoo him off the stage. I'll kind of stand here while he's trashing the place. Cool, so while we're waiting for the next speaker, just like to quickly shout out to all of our organisers. Put your hand up if you were one of the MLH organisers here. There's got to be a few. Awesome, cool. So these guys are organising the other MLH events across the year. There's definitely more than that. Spoffy's here as well. There's Spoffy, there's one. So Spoffy is with Plymouth? Southampton. I always get the sub ones mixed up, sorry. Have we got Edinburgh here? Angus is here. There's Edinburgh. Birmingham, did you guys make it? Birmingham's over there, awesome. Who else is here? So St Andrews and thing. Which one are you, sir? Newcastle, excellent, that's the one I'm going to. Awesome, cool. So yeah, these guys are around. If you want to know anything about the other events, and also Tim is for Nottingham, Bill and Saif are for Student Hack. If you want to know anything about the other events throughout the season, go and have a word with them. And there's also some of the people from spring season here, so if you're looking really far ahead, they're around as well. So next up, could we have Twilio? Paul, you ready? Awesome. Cool, so give Twilio a huge hand, please.
Right. It's like when you go in through the opening doors trying to pretend you're a Jedi. There we go, right, okay. Let me just quickly set this up. And we can dive into the Twilio demo. So, hello everyone, my name is Paul and I'm a developer evangelist at Twilio. Twilio makes it easy for you to send SMS messages and place phone calls through your web and mobile applications. And if you build the coolest hack with Twilio this weekend, you will win your team 4 original red Game Boys with Tetris in them. We have been play tested extensively this week by my colleague Michael. So you probably want to win this, and you probably want to know what Twilio is. Well, Twilio works, but you're basically buying phone numbers just like the phone you would have on your phone, but in the cloud instead. And those numbers can receive and send SMS and voice, but they don't go to your phone, they go to the Twilio cloud instead. And when they hit the Twilio cloud will make a request to your application saying, I'm getting a voice call, what do you want me to do with it? You write some code, you send back the instructions, and Twilio handles that, and it will play down a song down the phone, or it will put that person in a conference call, for example. Now, I could go through some slides and show you how this code worked, or I could live demonstrate it. So, could I get everyone to take their phones out of their pocket? Some of you might not have reception. I found that if you turn airplane mode on and off, it will reset, and it will try and get you connected again. So just like the phone in your hand, I need to get myself a phone number before I can start doing anything. And because we're in London, I'm going to go ahead and buy a phone number through the Twilio account portal. I'm just going to grab the first London number I can find, which is this one, which does voice and SMS. And once that's been purchased, I can copy it to my clipboard and set it up. So I said we need to link this to our application. We do this by adding some request URLs here. These are the URLs that Twilio will make requests to you with the information, asking you what you want to do with this voice call. This is a concept called webhooks. If you want to talk about them, I can explain it more afterwards. We're just going to use the messaging URL this time, and I'm going to link it to my server, which is running on my machine. And I'm going to save that. And let's look at the code. The code is currently 8 lines of Python. Any Python fans? Yeah, look at that. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, this doesn't do anything at the moment, so we need to link up that URL to the root in our Flask application. And I'm just going to do that like this. And we are going to accept HTTP post requests. And I'm just going to link that to a very simple function called message that is going to return nothing more than a simple string. And in this string, I'm going to write some XML code that is, if you don't know XML, it's like HTML. You have an opening tag and a closing tag. But we're using specific tags here that we call TWIML. These are instructions that Twilio will understand and will transform into telephony stuff. In this case, it should be pretty obvious. This will turn it into a message, so that when you text me in a second, you'll get back this reply. And I'm going to say, hey, Major League Hacks, here is a promo code. And we're going to call this hack MLH. Love Twilio. So if I save that, now if I wanted to do voice, I don't have to install anything new. I can just add another root, and I just change the TWIML that I'm writing. So let's add another TWIML in here, and let's do some voice stuff instead. Again, I'm just writing a simple function with returning a string. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. There we go. We always use the response tag to return back because we're sending back our response to Twilio's request. And it's really hard to type at this angle. Now, I could, if I wanted to, gather the digits that you type in a phone. I could put you into a conference call. I could transform some text into speech and have a robot speak to you. Or I could play you a really cool song. So I'm going to play you a song. And I'm just going to use the play tag. And all I have to feed it is a link to a MP3 file, which I've hidden behind a bit.ly link because it's a surprise for later. But if everyone takes out their phones, which you should have done already, and send a text message to this number, that number is 020-3389-7528. And if you get back a reply, wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. I'm going to do it as well. My signal's a bit terrible at the front here, though. Yay, cool. So there we go. We've got some outbound text messaging. If you don't know what to send, just send your first name. So that's inbound stuff. What about outbound? Well, we have REST APIs. Who likes REST APIs? Because we have one that you can play around with. And I'm going to use the Python interpreter and the Python helper library to play around with the REST API now. I'm just going to say from twilio.rest, and we're going to import the Twilio REST client, and I'm going to instantiate that. My account credentials, like my username and password, are stored in my environment, so I don't need to type those out. Anyone who's ever tried to type 2 30-long character strings will know that's pretty tricky to do live. I can get hold of your phone numbers, but instead what I thought I'd do is I would actually show everyone what everyone sent in. So I hope no one sent in any swear words, because this will be awkward. So I'm just going to ask it for a list of the phone numbers that have been sent to, a list of the messages that have been sent to that phone number, and then display the body of those messages. So there we go. Moisture is the essence of wetness. This won't work. Wow, such demo, much impressed. OK. There we go. Let me go grab my phone numbers. Toot. OK, so yeah, who didn't think it would work? So I have 50 phone numbers now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for each number in those numbers, I want to make a phone call to every single person. And I'm going to make a number to your phone. It's going to come from the Twilio number that we just provisioned. And I'm going to use that URL that I created earlier, that voice URL, to play you all a song. So this is going to go to my website, /twiml/10. So this is going to take about 50 seconds to run. And when you get that phone call, this will now keep going. I would like you to answer it. Have a listen to what should be the greatest theme tune from the greatest film of all time. It's the Star Wars theme tune. That is how you would build a Star Wars theme tune as a service with Twilio. If you want to learn how to use Twilio and win some Game Boys this weekend, come and find me. I'll be in a red jacket. I have promo codes and some T-shirts available for you as well. My name is Paul. Thank you very much. Is anyone getting a phone? I'm going to blame the cellular network down here. Oh, we had an error. Shh. OK, done. It wasn't. I had an error where I think it might have been. No, it looks like it was an error to my thing. I'll send it out to you all later. You'll get a random Star Wars phone call sometime throughout the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paul. Expect random Star Wars calls throughout the night. So one thing I want to quickly mention in between. Who came here on a coach or a plane from us this morning? And awesome, cool. So Tim mentioned it earlier that for the hacks throughout the season, all across the country, we will help you get there. We have money and a grant to do this. Some of the people today, they came down on the coach from Manchester via Nottingham, and we also flew a load of Scotlanders down. So hooray for Scotlanders! So awesome, cool. Who's St Andrews? Awesome, well done. That's my uni now. You're my people. Cool. Right. So next up, can we have... Oh, this is where the schedule gets confusing. I've crossed things out. Laser Shark. Chris, are you around? Cool. So this is a very last minute sponsor. Chris is awesome. He's going to quickly tell you about Laser Shark. Woo! Give him a hand of applause, everyone.
Thank you. I have absolutely nothing prepared. So that's a great start. But, so Laser Shark is a hosting company, which you wouldn't be able to tell from the name. But basically I met Joe a week ago and at Barcamp. And we decided that you guys should have some free hosting for your hacks. So if you would like free hosting for your hacks, I have no idea how to show you any of this or anything, which is great. But if you go to lasershark.uk/MLH and use the coupon code MLHLaunch, you can have a month free on any of our hosting plans. So, yay. If you need a domain, Namecheap do that. We also do that, but they're sponsoring, so I won't steal their limelight. So, yeah, enjoy. And if you need any help with anything hosting-wise, or you want some bonus goodies, I have stickers, I have Quality Street, you are sorted. Then come find me at any point during the weekend. I'll be wearing this fetching Laser Shark t-shirt.
I want one.
I will make you one. And, yeah, have a great time, and use our hosting.
Thank you very much, Chris. So another part of the main prize, who's heard of TechCrunch Disrupt? Huge hackathon, TechCrunch, massive website, all the startups, all that sort of thing. So Hack Campus, an awesome organisation for connecting the student community, have very generously donated us some tickets. And they are all here in these amazing orange hoodies. And I think one of you guys ready to talk? Or would you? Yeah, cool. So Hack Campus is going to come up on stage now, tell you more about what they do, and also about the main prize. Give them a round of applause, everyone.
Oh no. That wasn't part of the plan. Does anyone actually know who we are? Oh, okay. Do you want to try and connect that for me? So for those, oh Mike. So for those that don't know us, we are Hack Campus. We're a student-run organisation. I'm Ben. I co-founded it with Amar, who is like running here right now. Ainsley is also on the team. What we do is try and connect the student communities in the UK via like events, keeping everyone up to date. We throw out a couple of digests and stuff like that. And the reason we do that is because we thought that before this year, sort of, there wasn't really that much going on. That wasn't true. We just didn't know about it. So we're trying to fix that. Cool. So one of the things we're talking about today is our Disrupt Hack Prize.
Cool. So, right. So what we've got are 4 tickets to TechCrunch Disrupt Hackathon for the grand prize winners here at this hackathon. So if you don't know what TechCrunch Disrupt is, or you haven't heard of it yet, it's an amazing event. They have some really amazing speakers. There's going to be loads of investors, loads of VCs, loads of interesting people there. And their hackathon, if you win that, it's one of the most prestigious prizes you can get. It will get you some really interesting connections. So as a part of that, we've got 4 tickets to that. If you don't win here at MLH, we do have another competition that's running. So if you go to showcase.hackcampus.io, you can submit any of your hacks that you've created at any point, as long as you're a university student. And the top 3 most voted up hacks, the team that created those hacks, will also get TechCrunch Disrupt tickets. So those are the 2 ways that you can get TechCrunch Disrupt tickets from Hack Campus.
Cool. So the second thing we want to talk to you about is, so for those of you that do know us, you'll know that we've been working on this full-time for about 10 weeks now. And we want to launch our internship program today. We might have talked to some of you about it already. But basically, the premise is next summer, 30 students will get to live for free in London accommodation They'll live with the rest of the batch and intern at some of the biggest startups in the UK. So we're partnering with people like Go Cardless, King, Secret Escapes, yes, and Grays, and so on, and many more. So you'll get accommodation provided, you'll get a competitive salary, and you'll also get like a ton of workshops from industry leaders.
Yep, so if you're interested in applying to that, head on over to hackcampus.io/internship. If you're already a member of the Hack Campus Digest, you'll get an email shortly, which gives you a username and password, which you can use to sign into hackcampus.io. If you don't have a Hack Campus, if you haven't signed up for the Digest already, you can just register straight at hackcampus.io/internship. All you can do now is register your interest, and as soon as we're ready to take full applications, we'll send you another email to follow up and let you know how the application process is going to work out. But what you can do at the moment is pre-link some of your social accounts, so you can link your LinkedIn, and then what that will do is fill in your application pretty much automatically as soon as we're ready to take applications, or fill in as much of it as you can. So yeah, head on over to hackcampus.io/internship if you think that will be interesting to you next summer.
Cool, so if that sounds like your bag of fish, do what he said. It's a pretty unique program. We don't know about any other one like it at the moment. And these are some pretty big names, so we're really happy. If you have any questions, we're not really hard to miss. There's a couple more of us over there. Come and speak to us if you need any help with any of the internship stuff.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, guys. So, the next one is quite fun. So, under 18s, I'm hoping by this point you all know this. Tonight at 10 o'clock, you guys have to move venue. We're moving you 5 minutes up the road to an amazing place called Launchpad Labs. And Dave from Launchpad Labs is here now to talk about this. So he's going to come up and talk about what they do and why they're awesome. But I just want to briefly give him a massive thank you for doing this for us. He's helped us out enormously, and it's awesome to be able to enable under 18s to be able to hack. And without their support, and without Twilio's support as well, there you guys. Twilio have helped us with this as well. Without the support, we wouldn't be able to have as many under 18s here as we do. So thank you very much to both these guys. And Dave, do you want to come up and give them a huge round of applause, both of them?
Thanks. I'm from Launchpad Labs. We're here to help underrepresented groups in entrepreneurship, and that goes from everything for single parents, people with long-term health conditions, students, under 18s. We're working in high schools, in unis. We have our first base just north of Ulster Roundabout, so 5 minutes north of here. I'm sure half of you are actually older than me. It just goes to show what can be achieved if you have the drive and the team around you to make things happen. I'm sure all of you have something that you'd like to change in this world, and at this point, 2014 going into 2015, it's the perfect time. Launchpad Labs, we're workspace, mentoring, events, helping trying to raise finance. As I said, 1 site so far, looking at moving into 5 sites around the UK as of next year, partnering up with charities, for-profit businesses, other organisations. We're basically here to try and help as many people as possible understand the basics of what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it means to be a small business person in the UK. So, as Tim was saying before, the under 18s will be up with us later on, so I'll meet all of you there. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be around later. Thanks.
I especially like how this partnership worked out because they're both called Launch and both have a rocket logo. Cool, so next up, can we have Capital One? I think these guys are ready. So they have a team. They're not all in the the baseball shirts this week. Cool, right, anyway. You ready to come up stage? Give more round of applause.
Morning. So I am incredibly ill, which is good news for you guys because it means I'm going to talk very quickly and briefly and be under my 5 minutes. Bad news for me, I'm going to go and curl up in a ball over there very shortly. So let's get this over with. My name is Pete Coulter. I'm the head of digital development for Capital One, hence the T-shirts. And we're here as a sponsor because these events are incredibly important to us at Capital One. So let me give you the reason why. Capital One, for those who don't know, is a huge bank in the US. Provides all the financial services you'd expect from a bank. And in the UK, we're a single line of business, so we are a credit card provider, one of the largest independent credit card providers. So why is a credit card guy stood here talking to you? Well, in the US, our founder, who is still with the company, Rich Fairbanks, decided that he didn't want to be a bank with an IT department anymore. He wanted to be a digital company that provided financial services. So, nice words, but they followed it up with action. So the company over in the US has opened offices in San Francisco, in New York, in Washington. They're buying startups. They're buying small companies to incubate them. There was the news a couple of days ago that we've acquired Adaptive Path in San Francisco. That's not because we want to sort of disperse them. That's because we want to be their sole customer, basically. So huge ambition followed up by huge action. And if you watch the Apple event a few weeks ago, you'll notice there were some launch partners on their slide for Apple Pay. And Capital One was up there. And we're really proud of that. So in the UK, headquarters up in Nottingham, I joined the company about 6 months ago. And my minor task or objective is to basically recreate that in the UK, which is a slight problem when you don't have any software engineers. So we've hired 30 new software engineers in the last 6 months, or 3 months, sorry. And we're going to hire probably another 20 or 30 over the next 6 months going forward. All sorts of experience levels, all sorts of skill sets. Sorry, excuse me. So, when we're hiring people, the most important thing for us is that we hire the right person. And the right person for Capital One is someone who's passionate about tech. Okay, so people who update GitHub before they update Facebook, people who love creating things, people who love developing things, people like you, essentially. Okay, that's what we want at Capital One. We want great developers who are passionate about technology. So if you want to come and have a chat with us about a career at Capital One, we are recruiting, as I've said. Just grab myself or Erica. So Erica's in the blue T-shirt here from our HR department. Now, we haven't brought any APIs or any prizes, but we have. But I brought something better. I brought people. So in the red T-shirt, there's 3 people in red Capital One T-shirts: Manthan, Demi, and somewhere Saif, who's currently wearing. He's not here. He's getting changed now. So Saif's going to go into a phone booth and turn around from his MLH T-shirt into his red Capital One T-shirt. He's one of us. The guys have got their names and their technical skills on the back of their shirt. So if you want help with anything, the guys in the red shirts are yours for the weekend. You can use them, abuse them. Just please return them in one piece, and they're all yours. We have brought, instead of prizes, we brought some giveaways, though. Mainly sugar and caffeine based, but I understand there's quite a lot of that coming later on, so you can have more sugar and caffeine. And we'll perch ourselves up at the back there, probably. We have some stickers as well. We also brought Lego, Star Wars Lego. Miles away, he's on his phone, look. Sorry. Yeah, we brought Star Wars Lego as well, so if you want to have a Lego off later on, you know, we could do that, but we'd win, you'd lose. So listen, our Lego is not a giveaway. Our Lego is something that we just thought we'd build. So if you get a little bit tired and you want a screen break, just 5-10 minutes, come and help us. We're going to take, it's the big sand crawler from episode 4. So we're going to have that at the back, and our little challenge is to try and build that at every hackathon event that we're going to, and then take a few pictures and stuff like that. So we need your help because we're shit at Lego. So we just brought it because someone said it was cool. So yeah, we need your help with that. So please just come over, say hello, come and do some Lego. If you do want to talk about a job, blue T-shirts. If you need some help, red T-shirts. And that's us. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cool, so that is the end of our sponsors. So now the madness begins. But before, I've got a couple more things to announce. Oh, sorry, Namecheap. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. Can we have Namecheap to stage, everyone?
Thank you for saving the best until last. So, we're from Namecheap. We are also in the UK. We're in Nottingham, so nice place. I'll tell you a bit about Namecheap in a few minutes. Nils will tell you about the giveaways that we're giving to everyone here.
Sure. Morning, guys. I hope you still have about 25 minutes. That's all it's going to take us. No, I'm going to make this short. We are, I'm Niels from Namecheap. Very excited to be here. This is my second hackathon, actually. I went to PanApps in Philadelphia just 2 weeks ago. We have recently launched NC.me, which is Namecheap for Education. What we tried to do with this program is basically, expose you guys to the Namecheap brand, give away some free stuff, which is actually also mentioned on this banner over there. You should all have a little business card in your goodie bags. You should have received a T-shirt as well, a wonderful Namecheap T-shirt. What that gives you, the business card is an explanation of how to get a free .me domain. We give some discounts on other popular TLDs as well. You get free email hosting with us, a free About.me, premium account, and some other goodies. Very excited to be here. If you have any questions, find us in the back at the registration area, and happy to help you out. Thank you.
We are going to try and get the UK universities added automatically to the list. In the meantime, email Nils at namecheap.com, or me, Matt at namecheap.com, and we'll sort you out with a manual coupon code.
I believe it has been set up, but I have to verify that later on when the guys in the US wake up.
So we will be adding the ac.uk as soon as we can. Yes, we can. We can't add them all, there's a lot, but email us any you want us to add, and we'll add them.
That is actually a separate discount code that we have, but we have to send that out manually, so we don't publish it in that sense.
Okay, so I mentioned we're in the UK as well. I bet lots of people in here use 123reg. That's a swear word for us. We sell .co.uk domain names. We offer pricing in pounds. We have a UK data center in Nottingham. I'm sorry, Heroku, sorry, LaserShark, but we have a lot of UK hosting as well. So come talk to us about that. We'd love to see you use our services. We have a lot of T-shirts and stickers, and I drove down with them in my car. I'd rather give them all away so I don't have to drive back with them. So take as many as you like and have a great event.
So those ideas that you've been sitting on for ages for silly domain names and stuff, make sure you get them this weekend. It's a great opportunity to get something you've been thinking on for a while out and made. So, cool. We've got a couple of things we want to cover. First of all, you've seen on these screens here, and it will be on this one as well, we've got the Twitter wall. If you're struggling to think of how to use multiple responses together, this Twitter wall is a great example. It was made by Bill over there in the last couple of weeks, and it uses Twilio, SendGrid, and I think it's hosted on Heroku, am I right? Cool. So if you want an example of how to hack something, there's a hack made for a hack. And then another thing, anyone who knows me knows that I have an awful habit of having to do stage selfies. So feel free to pull a stupid face, because I'm going to do this really quickly. Oh, that's not working. Okay, cool.
Send it to selfie.
Beat that, Robin. Cool. Right, so there's a tradition in America that we'd very much like to beat. So I'm going to invite Tim and John up to the stage, because we can definitely do better. Cool. So welcome, Tim, everyone.
Woo! Awesome. This is the trophy. It's extremely heavy.
Don't brag.
Okay, so they have this tradition in America. They're very brash over there. Look at this guy. So as I said, MLH started in America, and the UK season is going to kick off with a huge bang with this hackathon. And quite simply, we're going to embarrass them a little bit because we're going to be absolutely amazing. So they do this thing where they have this chant. As I said, MLH is all about believing that everybody you should be able to go to hackathons and have fun at them. So they have this chant, I believe that we will hack. So when I say I, you repeat after me, okay? I believe. I believe. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that we will hack. 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 That's a good practice.
That was a good practice.
That was pretty good practice. Okay.
We did better though.
Oh, we've got to put them to shame, okay? So everybody's really got to get pumped up because this is a really exciting event. Let's get ready. We're about to start off. We're about to kick off.
Your people standing.
Yeah. Everybody stand up. Let's stand up, okay? We need to put them to shame. Way to go, all Wolf of Wall Street on this one, okay?
I believe that.
I believe that.
I believe that we will hack.
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 Woo! Awesome, guys. Let's go.
Thanks so much, everyone. I know that took a long time. Go out there and start hacking.
Okay, you're jumping, man. Oh my
I think Mr. Spencer has got some competition.
I know. You were channeling Rob Spector there. Or Justin, either one.